Hi and welcome to a new episode on my channel. Today I'm gonna show you step by step the modification on the Junestar ND filter you have to do to avoid massive reflections on your HD footage from your GoPro. If you use the filters as they come from the factory, the case is also golden colored on the inside. This causes the reflections on the footage because this golden color is also reflecting into your glass from the inside of your filter, and that's a really bad effect you have on your footage, and this is what I avoid with the modification I do today. There are two reasons why I use these filters instead of Polar Pro, which is the only manufacturer which has the same system you can easily pull off from your GoPro 5, 6 or 7. One reason is the price. The Polar Pro filters you can get in a set of 3 for around $100. And one of these is around $10 to $12, so you can get a set of 3 ND4, ND8 and ND16 filter for around $30 to $35. The ND32 filter, which misses on Junestar, is not really necessary in my opinion. I tried the ND16 filter in maximum light area, that means with snow and sunny day. You can see a video linked here above in the video. I didn't miss anything, so in my opinion you don't really need the ND32 filter. It's more important for lower light situations that you have as much filter as possible in lower light, so ND4, ND8 and ND16 filter makes a lot of sense to me. What is also a plus in this filter system in general is that it works as a cheap lens protector for $10 to $12 and you cannot lose it. So if you crash your race drone or crash your mountain bike or for whatever you're gonna use your GoPro, this filter can come off. So it's pretty well mounted on your GoPro, and if you crash it, it's simple to replace the filter and your lens is well protected behind the almost 2mm thick glass you have on this filter. Then let's have a look at the stuff we need for the modification. First we need the filter you want to modify. In this case it is the ND16 version, which comes in this carton box and this plastic box which protects the filter well when you're on travel. You can even put 2 filters in one of these cases, so I really keep the boxes like they are just because they protect your filter pretty well during your travel. Then what we need is a heat gun. This is just to remove the filter glass from the housing of the filter. Then to push out the glass from the back side of the filter, you need something which doesn't make any scratches on your glass. So I decided to go with this piece of wood with some electrical tape on it. This really avoids to get scratches on your filter glass. Then we need some tape to avoid paint on the parts of the housing where we don't want to have it. Then we need Plaster dip to paint it, or you can also go with some matte black color. I prefer Plaster dip just because of one reason. The reason is that you don't need any glue to put the glass back into the housing because the Plaster dip works pretty well as glue at the same time. So this is the reason why I prefer this solution instead of regular color. Then I recommend to use a glove just to protect your hand against the heat from the heat gun if you have to grab the filter, and the towel to clean up all the mess from painting and everything. So let's jump right into the steps for the modification. As you can see, even through the glass here, you can see the bright color of the housing behind the glass. So that's what we want to eliminate to improve the quality of your footage. The first step you have to do is there is a seal ring on the back side of your filter. You have to take this off. This is a silicone seal ring just to avoid any damage to the seal ring if we're gonna heat up the housing with around 200 degrees. so there is a risk to damage this ring, so this is the reason why we take off this ring. Second step is to heat up the filter and remove the glass. For this we need the glove to protect the hand from the heat of the heat gun, the towel if the glass falls out of the case, there are no scratches on your glass. We need the part you want to push out the glass from the backside of the filter, and the heat gun to heat up the whole filter. So you need to set up the heat gun to around 200 degrees, and you're gonna heat up the filter for around 1 minute, and after 1 minute it's pretty easy to push out the glass from the backside out of the housing. So let's start to heat up the filter and push out the glass. So 1 minute is over. Now let's see if this works. Let's push a little, and here we go. Glass is off, and that's how the housing looks after you put out the glass. The glass itself needs some cleaning from the inside before you put it back on. And the front side is okay, you don't need to clean it because you can clean it after the modification. But the inside has to be cleaned before you put the glass back onto the case, just because the access is pretty bad if the glass is put back onto the filter housing. To clean the glass of the filter, I use some thinner for nitro-based colors, but you can also use a regular window cleaner or different things which work to clean glass. The next step on the housing is masking the outside of the housing and do the first layer of the paint job. So let's start with the masking. You just need to wrap the tape around your filter. This doesn't need to be perfect masked, but just to avoid a big mess on the outside of your filter. So here we go, something like this. That's enough. And then you can put it on the back side together so you can hold the filter easy. Like this, it's pretty simple to paint it. Just make sure that the color can go everywhere inside the housing, that you don't have any tape which covers the inside of the case, and the final masked filter housing is looking like this. Next step is to put the first layer of plastic dip on the housing. I go for 2 layers just to make sure that also the edges on the inside here are well covered with plastic dip with the second layer. And to make it dry faster, I'm gonna use my heat gun just to heat it up a few seconds to make the drying quicker. After 1 minute already you can put on the second layer of plastic dip. Very important after the second layer is that you put on your glass pretty quick. The glass is cleaned on the inside. Now everything is perfectly clean on the inside, and we're gonna put it on just because you need the wet plastic dip also for the glue function. It's the same. No glue needed, no separate glue. Just put on your glass back into your filter, push it down. You don't also need to clean the housing from the original glue or tape which is around on the outside. Just put it back in and let the whole thing dry with the plastic dip. Like this, the filter will hold the glass together, and you have a perfectly modified filter. So the next step is only take off the masking tape and to clean the filter from any plastic dip we don't need on the filter. Plastic dip is pretty easy to clean, so you can take a towel and just rub off all the plastic dip we have on the edges here, what we don't need, just like this. And the final step will be to clean the glass from any dirt, any fingerprints and all the stuff you have on your filter. And here we go. This is the finally cleaned filter, all modified, and now you can see it's really dark black inside the filter housing, so the reflections are 100% gone and you're good to go for perfect footage with your GoPro 5, 6 or 7. Unfortunately, GoPro 8 doesn't support this system anymore. You can't simply replace the original lens protector, but this is another story. So this is already all for today about modifying the Junestar ND filters. I hope you liked the video. Have a good time. Happy flying. Bye bye.